You guys ready for this?
Oh, absolutely. It's time we get started with our 2K24 GM Mode series. Now, despite things not going my way in 2K23, I consider this to be won by me. Already, it was written in the stars that I would defeat the both of you.
Is he actually starting this with the same speech he did in 2K23?
He's an idiot, Barack.
Just like I'm the greatest president of all
Yeah,
time,
whatever,
too.
Donald, anyway. I took it upon myself to download some cause from the community creation, so we can actually be the general managers for real this time.
Oh, hell yes, Barack. What an amazing photo that is of me. You know me so well.
For the simple fact that you're eating one of your gross ice creams? Barack, I'm already tired of this.
We literally just had to hear you repeat your speech from the channel's first ever video. I don't want to hear all from you, Donald. Now let's get into the draft. All right, then I'm up first. I'm going to go ahead and take my main girl, Bianca Belair, to kick things off.
Yes. Your main girl. Which makes sense because Michelle is a man.
Damn you, Donald.
For my first pick, I'm going to be taking the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Yes, because you're a nightmare when it comes to GM mode.
Wait, are you looking at my notes?
No, for the love of God. This is the same you said in the last draft.
Yeah!
Wait, what?
My snooze! You lose guys. The megastar is mine.
Oh, geez, the word slurring is getting worse. Also, Joe, you're the only one who snoozes here, so that literally made no sense.
Didn't ask.
This has been a super weird start to proceedings. Anyway, it's now time to pick my main man, Bobby Lashley.
Barack, I'm confused, because Michelle is your main man.
I hate you, Donald.
Love you too. So anyway, since I'm on a nightmare hunt, let's go ahead and draft the nightmare of the women's division, Rhea Ripley.
And I'm going to take Bailey. Guys?
Yes, Joe?
Are you silently judging me?
Yes, because we know exactly why you picked her. You ain't slick Joe.
Okay, so my third pick. I'm going to be taking the man, Becky Lynch.
Oh, come on, Barack. You're just making it easy for me.
I know, Donald, but Becky was already in my head for a potential pick when we started this. I'm not just going to mess my plans up so you can't tell an old joke again.
I can respect that. Just like I can respect this man for being a legend. Just like me.
Stop with
For
the
my
cap.
third pick, I am taking the Viper, Randy Orton.
Well, I'm going to take Jimmy Uso because I like his theme song.
Is that the only reason?
I mean, what else does Jimmy have over Jay?
That's a fair argument. Ooh, I tell you what I could be cooking with my idea here. Let's get Carmelo Hayes drafted.
Yeah, sure, Barack, you carry on with your horrible cooking. I'm just going to go ahead and pick the ring general here, a sophisticated gentleman just like me.
I just told you to stop with the capping, Donald.
Eat
I'm
my
going to
ass.
take Io Sky. Might as well get the entirety of damage control on my brand.
Time to whoop that trick. Mr. Williams, get onto my brand.
God, if this was 10 years earlier, I would so make a whipping joke right about
You
now.
do that, and the only one getting whipped here will be you. Just pick your next damn star already.
Fine, fine. I'm taking Finn Balor. Might as well have the Judgment Day since Joe is stealing all the damage control from us.
You know what, Donald? I think my next pick has some advice on what you can do to forget about that.
You son of a...
We want the smoke.
Not surprising you want that, Obama. Let me guess you're doing a Mello and Trick versus Street Profits rivalry, right?
Surely you're not petty enough to pick Angelo Dawkins just so I can't do that, right?
Nah, don't worry, Barack. That's Ben Shapiro levels of pettiness. I'm just going to go ahead and finish building the Judgment Day, or at least as much as I can do, since Dominic isn't in this draft pool.
And whilst you do that, I'll finish up with building damage control and select Dakota Kai.
I appreciate that, Donald. I swear this tag rivalry is going to feed families.
I mean, someone has to. Biden here is making that hard to do with all these inflation costs.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm actually going to follow Barack's example and set up a tag team feud. And that starts with drafting Braun Strowman.
Strowman and Ricochet?
Exactly.
Well, what if I want Ricochet too?
Well, you don't.
Yeah, I'll just take Zelina Vega because her hair is awesome.
You gonna sniff it?
Shut up, Donald!
Cool it, Joe. I'm going to take Braun Breaker. A rivalry between him and Bobby is yet another rivalry that will feed families.
Okay, low-key. I'm gonna pray like I'm Drew McIntyre that those two feud for real after Mania.
Oh, hell yeah, that would cook so hard.
Guys, look who it is!
Oh, no.
For the love of
He
God.
doesn't like the best, and it's obvious.
I think we need another 4-month break.
Forget it, Donald. Just to clarify, we're picking 10 stars like we did last time, right?
Yeah, sure.
Works for me.
Okay, so I don't think I can introduce my next pick with enough justice. So creator, please insert a clip of Carlito introducing him.
Santos Escobar.
I just realized I need another woman so Rhea can feud with someone. I'm gonna take Zoe Stark.
Screw it, I'm gonna draft DIY. It just makes sense to have them both in NXT.
But what if I want Gargano?
Well, you don't.
Of course I don't. He's a vanilla midget.
I need someone to feud with Santos for the mid-card title. Screw it, I'm going to take JD. Let's say it's a bit of a callback to the original AI Presidents play Minecraft back
Wait,
in the day.
what? Why is this a callback?
Joe, literally, I beg you just go on the internet for one damn day, and you will understand. I'm just gonna take Baron Corbin, because he's tall, so he's a draw unlike Gargano.
Lord, I beg you give me the strength to deal with this fatso. Wait a minute, why am I missing my lower half?
Oh yeah, sorry Joe, that was the best image I could find on the community creations. That's to be expected though, since the game has only been out for a few weeks.
He won't need his lower half soon anyway, since he won't be able to walk in a couple years.
Yeah? Same goes for you. Except you won't be walking anymore because you had a damn heart attack.
All right, enough guys. How about we go ahead and book our first shows in this video too, and start getting a bit of a grip on how this year's GM mode works. So there's a lot of cool quality of life changes in this year's GM mode. For starters, you're not forced to pick your champions at the start. Instead, you can just go into your first shows with your titles vacant. The three of us agreed that we would keep out titles as vacant heading into our first shows, mainly because putting the titles on your stars at the beginning gives that star a popularity boost. We wanted to make sure we all had equal footing at the beginning of this. Well, me and Joe did anyway. You can probably guess what Donald's initial reaction to this was. You know what? This I Know a Guy card is a great segue into introducing the Talent Scouts, a new feature in this year's GM mode. Basically, you're sending out talent scouts to go find superstars for you to sign to your rosters. Now, on one hand, it's a bit of a con, as the scouting also costs money, so you may end up spending quite a bit amount on this system. On the other hand, you can offer contracts that are not solely stuck on either 5 or 10-week time limits like last time. If you wanted to sign a talent for just a week, then you can do that. In fact, I'm actually going to do that. My scouts have come back with Ronda Rousey as one of the talents, and I figure her versus Becky Lynch is a great throwaway match whilst I turn Bianca heel. So I'm still getting a big-time women's match on my show. Another cool change is the fact that you don't have to buy your venues every week like you did last year. Once you have a certain venue, that becomes yours for the rest of time. But it says it costs money as well as assets. I don't know what the asset bit means. Maybe someone in the comments can clarify what that is for us. Until then, I think I'm going to stick to the high school venue for now. So here's my show. Not bad for my opening night, I'll say. It just feels great to be back at this again. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. We really do appreciate all the support you have given us since we started this channel last year.
This is so stupid. How am I supposed to give Cody Rhodes the World Championship if I'm forced to keep it vacant? God, I hate democracy. I'm sure Barack has already mentioned this. But here we have the new talent scouting system. Seeing as I am literally a multi-billionaire, paying for this system won't really do anything to my bank account. Just know that the higher level search you go for, the bigger the cost for that search is going to be. I've splashed the cash on this system to bring Seth Rollins and that big Bronson Reed over to my show. In fact, I'm actually going to be cooking a rivalry with them. It sucks that this match was taken away from us in real life. Bronson was supposed to wrestle Seth at Elimination Chamber, but his kid was born just before that. Goddamn, look at this show. The first show of the season, and I'm already cooking so hard. No way in hell either of those two can beat this opening show. I have the greatest opening show in existence. No one's opening show is as good as mine.
It's so cool to see my face and name on here. I actually feel like I'm running the show this time. Unlike last year where we hid our faces behind general managers already in the game, it doesn't matter who wins this main event, because I win either way. However, I could use a tag team to go up against Damage Control for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Let's see what the new talent scouting gives us. Screw it. We'll sign Tegan Knox. And this weird fan chick, because they both wear green. So clearly they have to be in a tag team together, because I don't want DIY doing nothing whilst I wait to bring in another men's tag team to the brand. I'm just going to make them face each other. They don't call it the greatest rivalry in NXT history for no reason after all.
Lynch versus Rousey, the one-on-one WrestleMania match we never got.
As well as the one-on-one match that my first premium live event won't get either cause I only signed her for a week.
Damn it.
I guess he brought his shovel rather than his sword. We all know the only shovel that works is Triple H's golden.
Why are you guys making Minecraft references in regards to JD?
Again, Joe, go to the damn internet for one day.
Well, damn, fair enough, Braun.
Not gonna lie, I feel like the world title is a much better fit for
I
him.
think the same in regards to Carmelo Hayes and the Undisputed Championship.
Who the hell is this?
Rhea and Zoe literally just tore the house down with a 4-star opener. Why the hell is this guy of all people on your mind at the moment?
Is this guy a friend of yours, Donald? You can't just invite your friends to join our series.
Oh,
like
haha, yeah, I get it. Because he's a golfer. Joe, the joke was god-awful, and you should be ashamed of
You
yourself.
mean like you're ashamed of yourself every time you look at your fat ass in the mirror?
I'm the definition of peak fitness, Joe.
Michelle would disagree.
I don't care what your husband says. I'll never forget what she did to the school
A
meals.
stench that will stick with me until the end of time. Also, stop calling my wife a damn man.
Wait a minute. Did you buy a venue?
Indeed, I did.
Wow, fair's Joe. You've gone from forgetting to change it every week to being the first out of us all to buy one. I'm actually proud of you, Joe.
Only reason I didn't is because it also said it costs 2 assets, and I don't really have a clue what that means.
Well, as you can see, I didn't care enough to pull out of the
Wait.
deal.
Barack, look at his main
Oh,
event.
for the love of God.
He did it! Oh, yes. I am so damn happy right now.
You finished?
Yeah, I'm done. It does suck that LA Knight had to lose to achieve this perfect outcome. Why is Theory my only champion? I mean, I'm not complaining, I'm just confused.
From what I can remember, it seemed like the Bayley and Zelina match didn't have a title graphic behind it. That must mean the match was simulated to have a DQ finish or something.
Yeah, that's great. Can we talk about the elephant
Yes,
in the
Donald,
room?
we can see you're first for crying out
I was
loud.
actually referring to you being last, Barry. It just doesn't seem right considering how you were first for the entire 2K23 series.
Don't you be worrying about me, Donald. It's just a matter of time before I'm first again where I belong.
No, I don't think so. That was last year, Barack. This year, it all belongs to the Trump. You can count on that.
But what if I end up getting first instead?
Well, you won't.
Oh, screw you guys.
Okay, it's imperative that I do my best to come back from what was a pretty underwhelming start from me last time. That being said, one of my biggest stars is already out of the equation in terms of wrestling on this show. Bobby Lashley already has a low stamina level, so he's going to be on promo talk for the next couple of weeks. On the bright side, it's time to get this Becky and Bianca rivalry started, since I turned Belair heel last time. Oh shit, I didn't mean to use that. I guess now JD is one of my most popular stars. To be fair, that does make sense. He is the main character of Minecraft after all, which of course is one of the most popular games ever created. Anyways, I'm using the talent scouting system here to try and find an opponent for Braun Breaker to fill out the card. Otis could be pretty good here. But since I don't exactly have any long-term plans for him, I'm just going to give him a short-term contract. I'll also sign Shotzi too, just to add a bit more meat to my currently very small women's division.
Corbin wants a rematch against Orton. I don't see why not. I mean, it's Baron Corbin after all. Who could be a bigger draw than him? Let's make another title match between the two. We're also going to have Seth and Bronson in a match together. Seeing as Seth is already a face, I don't have to book any role change promos for this rivalry.
That's called foreshadowing.
Okay, my original idea was for Cody and Gunther to be in a rivalry, but considering how Gunther is on low stamina, as well as a rivalry not being initiated after their match in my first show, I'm going to have to rethink this. Nakamura has become available through my talent scout system, so I'm going to sign him for a couple weeks whilst I make a decision on which way I want to go with Cody and the world title.
Yeah, sure, Jimmy, I'll allow you and Chad to cook again. Honestly, I'm feeling really good about my North American and main world title pictures. Obviously, it's because Theory is also champion, but yeah, I feel like I'm having a pretty good start so far. So let's keep this up. Let's make another NXT title match. I'm absolutely fine doing this, as Knight is the only star in the game that I would be happy taking the title from the future of the industry. They both do it like the best, and it's obvious. I'm actually really glad that the boys didn't acknowledge my failed attempt at making a DIY rivalry. So we're just going to bring the two back together and put them up against Dominic and Turo, who I've just signed. I figure they could make a pretty good team together until I can acquire other members of the LWO.
Steve just can't seem to catch a break.
Okay, let's stop doing this, guys. I actually went online to check what you guys were referring to. Are we really just referencing Minecraft in relation to JD because he has a big head?
Yes, Joe. That's the whole damn point of the joke.
But that's stupid.
Let it go, Joe. It's not that deep. I'll take that. A very solid main
It
event.
didn't take us long to get back to hot potatoing our titles, I see.
It seems like you're sticking to real life here a bit, Donald. You've got the Judgment Day as tag champions, not to mention how Nakamura was Cody's last rival before his road to WrestleMania.
Honestly, I'm not even thinking about that. But I mean, what I'm booking is working, and I'm sure my main event won't be any different. What the hell? Stop laughing, Joe. How the hell could this have happened?
Did you check that both men weren't heels?
What do you mean? Seth's default crowd reaction in this game is as a face.
Yeah, the modern day version of him is. But there's two versions of him in this game, and it looks like you signed the authority version of Seth since the word freaking isn't in his name.
Wait,
Oh, I think you're right.
Well, I can't lie. That just made my day.
How about you shut up, Joe? You can't even make any of your women's stars a damn champion.
Crap, I forgot to make it a title match.
The return of Sleepy Joe, ladies and gentlemen.
Speaking of your women's champion, Joe, it looks like I was right about Bayley and Zelina's match last week ending in a DQ, as Knight won this week and yet didn't become the champion because there was no graphic.
Good to have some confirmation of that at least. Oh, my lord. Holy crap.
Nah, screw this. We're taking another 4-month
Oh,
break.
screw off, Trump. You literally used that in the first episode. You guys also said in that episode that I could never reach first place. As a punishment, you both owe me a trip to Dairy Queen.
I'm fine with that. Hell, you know what, Trump? Your ice cream is also on me, since I'll admit you did kind of get screwed over with the whole Seth heel thing.
As hungry as I am, Barack, I don't need your damn ice cream pity. Just get to booking your next damn show already.
Jesus, Donald can sure be an ass sometimes. Anyway, Montez, I'm more than happy to give you a rematch against Trick. I'm pretty sure his request will still count if he faces him in tag team action. Meaning I can just continue to build the Street Profits versus Mello and Trick rivalry up. I'm just going to take a wild guess and assume Becky will win against Bianca and get the title back. It may be hot potatoing, but it got me a 4-star match between the two in my last show, so it's clearly working. Let's make sure Bobby is set for our first premium live event in a couple of shows by giving him a health spa card. We can then have Braun call him out in a promo to build the rivalry up further. And because I accidentally made JD one of my most popular stars, I think it's a safe bet that he and Santos can now cook as an opener or main event match. Popularity, of course, is one of the main factors on how well your match is going to do. There are some other factors this year as well, though. The biggest one, I think, would be the new level system. I'm sure you've noticed by now that every star has a number assigned to them. I believe the way it works is that the higher that number, the bigger draw that star is going to be. I'm sure someone in the comments will be able to correct me if I'm wrong, though. And you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to go ahead and buy the concert hall. It should hopefully mean I get a little more profit coming my way. Also, I've gone ahead and signed a couple more women to the brand. One of those being the 2K legend Josie Jane. I'm going to turn her heel and let her cook in a rivalry with Shotzi.
Now here's a quality of life improvement I can get behind. You now have more options when it comes to contract negotiations. As a man who created the art of the deal, having this concept improved from last year is a welcome change for me. As last year you could only either accept their proposal or rebuttal with a smaller amount. So the situation with Seth has definitely set me back a week. I'd still be first right now if this version of Rollins was a face, meaning that match between him and Bronson would have cooked. I wouldn't call that a mistake though, as I never make those. It's just a happy accident. Zoe is really letting me down with her stamina levels, so I'm gonna have to waste a health spa card on her so she's ready for the premium live event in a couple of shows. Especially since that show will indeed be Hell in a Cell. How is it that we're only 3 shows in and I'm already having stamina issues with my roster? Gunther and Ricochet both only have 42 stamina each. I swear if any of them get injured, I'm throwing Joe's ice cream in the bin when we go to Dairy Queen later.
I won't lie, 2K, you've disappointed me. I feel like Chad's catchphrases should be included in his dialogue in this.
Thank you!
Theory's going to call out Knight whilst the megastar recovers his stamina. We're also going to crown new tag team champions as DIY will take on Dominic and Turo for the gold. Oh yeah, and also we're finally going to crown a new women's champion too, unless the match once again ends up in a disqualification. Knowing Donald, he'll be praying as if he's Drew McIntyre for that to happen, just because it would be funny to him. I mean, I guess he does need some laughs after screwing things up for himself just 2 shows in. In fact, I'm actually going to sign Donald to a contract just to get me some extra money through advertising promos.
Holy hell, Steve, you did it.
Trump, seriously, the meme is stupid. Please just put a pin
Wait
in
a
it.
minute, how come his popularity skyrocketed?
I accidentally used my to the moon card on him.
That's fair. Minecraft is a popular game after all, so he deserves
You just choose to not listen to me.
Oh my God, you've finally caught on. I understand why it took so long, though, given your old age and everything.
Quit being an ass, Donald.
Yeah, Donald, it's not our fault you didn't turn Seth face, which resulted in your show being screwed over.
This is crap, man.
You know what? I'll be the bigger man here. Donald, I know the feeling. If you remember, I did the exact same thing in my opening show in 2K23. It can happen to anyone.
And I'll take a quote out of your book and say this: it's just one of the many hurdles a great GM must go through.
Damn, guys, I appreciate you understanding my frustration. I'll try and forget about this. But only if that offer of you buying my ice cream later still applies, Barry.
Absolutely, Donald.
It just isn't going DIY's way so far in this series.
Oh yeah, Joe, I can see that. Especially after the failed attempt at making a rivalry between the two in the first episode.
Oh, for the love of God, I thought you guys had missed that.
I think the both of us were just too triggered by you pushing Theory to the moon again that we forgot to mention it. Nice to see a champion was actually crowned this time.
Low-key, if anyone deserves a title these days, it would be Bayley.
I'll double down on that. If Bayley loses at Mania, I'll make a presidential arrest warrant for Triple H.
Joe, you know you can't do that.
I'm the damn president. I can do whatever I want.
Enjoy that power whilst you still have it.
Would you look at that? Back to business as usual. with me in first place.
It would be a different scenario if I hadn't botched that Seth match.
And on that note, boys, let's head to Dairy Queen for some frozen goodness.
The best kind of punishment one can have, which is why I suggested
Your
it.
head usually isn't screwed right, Joe. But for once, you're actually cooking.
And before we end the video, the creator wanted me to say he hopes you all enjoyed this year's WrestleMania. To him, it was an almost perfect show, with pretty much everything that he wanted on the night coming to reality, to the point where Zayn dethroning Gunther was just an added bonus to him.
Okay, so with our first premium live event being our next show, as well as that next show being the Hell in a Cell event, it's important I don't overdo things here and take things a bit easier with my top rivalries. I reckon I could get away with my rivals facing each other just without a stipulation or a title on the line. One thing I didn't realize before is that title matches actually cost more of your star's stamina than a regular match would do. So we'll have the likes of Bobby and Braun facing each other here, but we're going to keep it as simple as possible. I also signed Shayna Baszler. Honestly, it was just to fill out the card. In that sense, maybe I should have just spent my money on a one-week contract on her instead. It is what it is, though.
I've got no issues with you doing a promo, Cody. It will increase the rivalry level between you and Nakamura. Not to mention you'd just be great at reading books to people in general. Have you guys heard how sophisticated he talks? Sensational. He's my world champion for a reason. Balor, go f*** yourself. You're not that guy, pal. How dare you try and mess with my show's plans like that? Actually, he said either Rhodes or Rollins. And I didn't actually realize I could make a match between Finn and Seth without messing up my plans before I got to the booking screen. Bronson can cut a promo to increase the rivalry level whilst Rollins has this match. Also, I think it's about time I buy the concert hall. As if I'm the last one out of the three of us to do this. But given how I somehow possess the least amount of money at the moment, I now consider this a worthy investment if it means bigger profit from ticket sales.
A no-holds-barred match? Usually I would say no, but you've got a decent enough stamina level. Although this does mess my plans up as I didn't realize that Turo is actually a face. Basically, I did a Donald. But it's not as impactful as his situation with Seth. But it means I'm now going to have to turn him heel at the Premium Live event instead. So I mean, the no-holds-barred match aside, I'm going to play everything else as easy as possible. No other stipulation matches and no title matches either. I need my stamina levels as high as possible for this Hell in a Cell event. I see you've done the same thing as me, Barack, in terms of booking our shows.
As in no stipulations to preserve stamina levels?
Exactly.
Yeah, for the most part, I did the same thing. I can go all out and beat you two at the Hell in a Cell event.
Someone who didn't realize Seth was a heel, you're acting way too cocky here.
You just gonna keep reminding me of that?
Until the JD Minecraft references come to an end, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
You. And then after all that effort, he goes and starts losing his damn matches.
Sounds like a skill issue.
I should have thrown your damn ice cream in the bin like I said I would in the last episode.
What the hell, isn't Nakamura facing your world champion at Hell in a Cell?
Vince booking in a nutshell.
Who the hell is that?
Biden has no memory of him.
Exactly. Nearly 20 years of praying for that man's downfall actually paid off in the end.
Joe, I thought you said you were playing it safe.
I know. Turo has decent stamina, though, and he requested to have this match.
Oh, screw that. He's a jobber for crying out loud.
Well, unlike you, Donald. I don't exactly like the idea of treating my stars like they're the mud on my shoes.
What the hell are you talking about? I treat my stars with nothing but the finest of respect. Balor, go f*** yourself. You're not that guy, pal.
All right then, it's premium live event time. How we feeling?
Not gonna lie. I'm ready to redeem my show after the disaster with Seth. I'm confident that the Big D can make a comeback and finish the episode in first place.
Yeah? Let's see if you can back up your words.
Joe,
then.
you're the only one who needs to back words up. On a damn paper. In case you forget what you're saying because of your old
Donald,
age.
you're literally 4 years younger than him, so that jab is worth all at the end of the day. Now, with that said, boys, let's get to cooking. Montez, I don't know why you're telling me this. This is clearly just a massive skill issue on your part. I'm not doing you any favors. Get the job done yourself. Anyway, time for Hell in a Cell. So in terms of the arena, this seems to be the same scenario as 2K23, where you'd still have to buy the live event arena every time. $50K for this isn't the worst deal in the world either. So given the destructive potential of Bobby versus Braun, they're obviously going to be fighting inside the hellish structure. Same with Becky and Bianca. Might as well make their match as huge as possible. Santos and JD are going to finish their rivalry off, and I'm going to try and build a Shotzi versus Josie rivalry with a false count anywhere match. Don't ask about this Shayna feud, by the way. I have no idea why this is a thing.
Oh, for the love of God, I don't need this. Okay, Clay, f*** off. You're not even a golfer for crying out loud. Seth, you can stay if you accept this lower amount. And Bronson, you're a great man. But it was either you or Seth. And honestly, Seth is the bigger draw. And Randy wants to team with Cody? Sure, we'll book a legacy reunion sometime after this Hell in a Cell event. Here's hoping Seth finishes the story against Bronson, then otherwise it'll be pretty embarrassing with Bronson leaving the brand. Remember though, guys, it'll just be another happy accident. Cody and Shinsuke are going to do battle inside the cell as well. Rhea and Zoe are going to tear the show down in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And then we've got some other matches too. But honestly, it's the performance of the 3 matches I just mentioned that will determine if I can get first place by the end of this episode.
We've got some contracts due for extension. I honestly couldn't care about this jobber, but I'm a fan of Tegan Knox. She's incredibly underrated, and I feel like she could have a good rivalry with Bayley sometime down the line. Don't you dare tell me how to do my job. That presidential arrest warrant I threatened you with in the last episode can still be used if you carry this on. Okay, so our top 2 feuds here on NXT are going to be Hell in a Cell matches. So that would be Bayley and Zelina. And then, of course, the 2 megastars of the company. They're both headed to the top, and it's not a surprise.
Oh, hell yes, that's what we wanted to see.
That legendary match rating doesn't take away the fact that you've got a weird-ass rivalry with Shayna Brew.
Again, don't ask. I literally just said, screw it, now it's happening. It could still cook.
Not a goddamn chance.
Fine, Trump. I'm willing to bet with you that I can get a 5-star rating out of this feud.
Wait, seriously? No cap?
Not one damn bit of cap, Donald. Give me some time to figure out some stakes, though.
Hell yeah, Barack, you're not the only one who can book a 5-star match.
Hey, Donald, look who it is.
Not this again, Joe.
It's your best friend.
He's a tennis player, Joe, not a golfer.
Well, damn. That just ruins the whole joke.
Sorry, Joe, but that joke was dead from the get-go.
Thank God Seth won.
Why do you say that?
I didn't re-sign Bronson due to a lack of funds.
Wait, what? Donald Trump having no money? What kind of parallel universe have I woken up in?
Same one where I'll be taking back my office this year, Joe. You better have that damn ice cream machine out of there by the time I win the election. Wait a damn minute. Turo was a face?
I don't want to hear a damn thing out of your mouth, Trump. At least Turo isn't one of my main stars like Seth is on your show. Meaning my entire booking didn't get screwed over unlike yours.
And I'll take that on the chin.
The fat chin.
But next time you think about laughing about my mistakes, don't make the same damn one a week later.
Yeah!
Damn it.
What the hell are you saying that for, Joe? I see this as an absolute win.
Oh, come on, Joe. I thought you said you win here regardless of the outcome.
I know. I just wish Theory could have held the title a little longer is all.
And there we go, boys. Me at the top once again as it should be.
This is crap.
Look on the bright side, Donald. I believe you actually earned the most fans out of the 3 of us here. Meaning if you hadn't messed up with Seth, you would probably be first right now.
Wait, what is this?
Oh, wait a minute. I was wondering when this was going to come into play. Another new feature added in this year's GM mode. Basically, we can negotiate with each other and make trades between our 3 brands if that's something we're interested in.
I see. I won't lie, it's a pretty cool feature. However, if it's all the same to you guys, I'm not too interested in it at the moment. There's not really anyone I want from either of your brands currently.
And as much as I would love to acquire Knight from you, Joe, I don't think I have anything on my end that would be considered a good enough trade for him. So yeah, I'm happy to skip this until the next premium live event.
Now hold on, Barack. I think I have an idea here. You remember wanting some time to think about stakes for our bet? Well, no need. We have them right here.
What are you implying?
What I'm implying is this. If you end up getting a 5-star match in Shayna's feud, I will have to trade a star of your choice to you from my show. No questions asked. However, if I win, then it's vice versa. How about that for stakes?
You know what, Trump, I'll take that bet. Seth could actually be a very good addition to my roster.
Yeah, well, Bianca or Bobby could be a great one. Oh, so very great one for my brand. I look forward to taking one of them away from you.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Keep fighting amongst yourselves so it's easier for me to win.
You've had your 15 minutes of fame, Joe. You're never getting first place again.
You Trump!
Right. So keeping Shane assigned to my show is kind of mandatory at this point, due to the bet me and Donald have going on regarding her rivalry. I'm sure I can eventually get a 5-star match between her and Vortex. As you saw there, though, I wasn't going to allow Shotzi to use me as a piggy bank there. And Montez, for the love of God, all I can do is book the matches. Get over your skill issue and win a damn match for once. Ah yes, the return of the shake-up cards from last year. For those who don't know, these are meant to give you a bit of a boost. So if you're having a tough time midway through a GM series, these could be a get-out-of-jail-free card for you. Unfortunately, the ones I got this time weren't the best. So I just went with the one that would hurt my stamina the least. So for this show, Santos and Bobby are going to switch places. I feel like Santos could be ready for the main event, so he's going to go after Braun's world title. As for Bobby, he'll be starting a rivalry with JD. Falling down the card after losing to Braun at Hell in a Cell. Shotzi is going to fight in a steel cage in the main event. Because, I mean, why not? She's going to be gone by the end of the show anyway.
Are you f***ing kidding me? Shinsuke, I swear I only just re-signed you. I hope you loiter around in talent search obscurity for the rest of the series, blaming me just because he couldn't win the world title. Pathetic. Speaking of my world champion, of course you can take 2 weeks off Cody. I'm sure absolutely nothing bad will occur due to me making this decision. Yeah, so something bad occurred due to me making that decision. I completely forgot the legacy reunion that I promised Randy. There's not going to be enough time for me to please the both of them. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to let one of them down. Which one of them it is, I'll decide on my next show. Oh yeah, and as for my shake-up card, I chose the affordable agent, granting me a 50% price decrease on my scout searches, another page to add to my Art of the Deal book. Now as for my show, I signed Solo Sikoa to a 1-week contract, simply to just fill out the card due to Cody taking time off. We're going to have Baron Corbin in the main event, seeing as he's the biggest draw in wrestling history. I do need to decide on what I'm going to do with Gunther, though. He's in a rivalry with Ricochet, but he's out for 2 weeks. Nothing too detrimental, though. I could just have the ring general build up the feud through promo talk until Ricochet returns.
Ah, damn, not these again. I'm sorry, Turo, but you're just not in my plans in terms of wasting more money. So goodbye. And you can go to Dominic. Thinking about yourself instead of the brand and the fine viewers of the show. Ray is so unlucky to have a disrespectful son like you, as one of the greats of NXT. I'm more than happy for you to take some time off, Johnny. Go live your life with Candace and your child for a bit. Now, as for you, Chad, this is just a big skill issue on your part. But fine. Your next match will not be against Jimmy. Time for some shake-ups. I'm just going to pick the safest option here, but at the same time, it's a pretty good one. I'm going to use Instant Spa Day to get my darling Theory stamina back up to 75. And just like that, all is right with the world again. Tegan Nox is going to continue her feud with Io Sky. Chad is going to have a match against the greatest star in the current day wrestling scene. And I'm just going to use Turo and Dominic for specific purposes in their last appearances on my show. For Turo, I'm going to hope that he'll put over my new acquisition, Ludwig Kaiser. And then, as for Dominic, I'm going to hope and pray like I'm Drew McIntyre that Ciampa will just beat his disrespectful ass inside that steel cage.
Oh my, who could have ever thought that Barack's jobber feud would completely flop?
Getting cocky already, I see.
Oh, come on. Joe, am I out of line for saying that?
He's got until the next Premium Live event, Donald, so he's still got plenty of time to cook.
Thank you, Joe. And I do intend to cook.
Whatever.
Oh, shut your orange ass up,
The
Donald.
will of the universe in a nutshell, ladies
Now I
and
just
gentlemen.
call that f***ing around and finding out. What makes this whole thing even funnier is that Ricochet is injured. But unlike Braun, he'll be back in time for our next Premium Live event.
You're being a little unfair, Donald. Especially considering how Barack was the first to check up on you after your whole situation with Seth. It's only banter until you take it too far.
Right, okay, fair enough, Joe. I did perhaps go a bit overboard. I'll apologize to him when he comes back into the room.
God, he does it like the best.
You're really freaking me out with this theory obsession now.
It's not an obsession. It's a way of life. It's hard to find someone who can do it like the best so well that it's obvious until he can't. It's hard to see the future right in front of your eyes at times until you see him. You may think you can't head to the top. And while that may not be a surprise, seeing him gives you that motivation to make it.
I'm back, guys. Sorry about
Thank
that.
Christ, don't ever leave me alone with Joe again.
Wait, what?
Also, I want to apologize for my reaction a minute ago, Barack.
Nah, don't worry, man. I was mad at the situation itself rather than you. I mean, Braun was my top star, for crying out loud.
Well, in that case then, let's book our next shows. And we'll see if you can get any further with this Shayna Jobber feud.
Trust me, Donald. I will, in fact, be cooking. Well, that's my hope anyway. Let's get Sammy contracted back up, too. I'm more than confident that I can get a 5-star match with her and Shayna. I know it's possible, I just got to push for that outcome. Nice going, Montez. So instead of taking my advice and getting the job done yourself, you're just going to blame me for all your failures? Get out of here already. We don't need quitters like you on this show. Triple H kindly graced me with a health spa card, so I'm going to use that on Becky to try and get her back in action sooner rather than later. I decided to sign Thea Hale to a contract. With both Shotzi and Josie leaving the brand, I need to build my women's division back up. We're also going to see if Angelo follows in his partner's footsteps. or if he can get the job done himself against Trick Williams. I need to hope and pray, though, that an injury fix card will pop up in the shop before our next premium live event. Otherwise, I'm going to have to think of a different plan regarding my World Championship due to Braun being out for 4 weeks.
Oh, for the love of God, look at this. My own damn stars think they can go ahead and tell me what's best for my show. I literally just bought a new damn arena in the last episode, for crying out loud. This is extortion. A clear attempt to remove my well-earned money from my presidential pockets. And Cole, I just couldn't care less at the moment. Just get out of here already, right? Okay, I know I may be jumping the gun here, but I need to think long term. Surely as time goes on, the chances of me gaining my profit back will be increased, though better ticket sales because of a bigger venue. Plus, I really can't afford for anyone else to be upset with me, considering how I've got to let down either Cody or Randy on this show anyway. That would be bad business, and could potentially be more detrimental than me losing this $200K for the bigger venue to begin with. I've made a decision on who I'm going to upset, and the man that is going to suffer will be Randy Orton. Randy, I'm sorry, I know I promised you a legacy reunion with Cody. It's just unfortunate timing that Rhodes decided to take some time off around the time you requested it. Now, why have I picked Randy over Cody? Simply it's because Cody is my world champion, meaning Rhodes always needs to be my top priority when it comes to my stars. Besides, I'm pretty sure Randy is upset anyway from losing back-to-back matches to the biggest draw in wrestling history, Baron Corbin.
Damn, this is new. I don't exactly want to buy a new venue quite yet. But I can't really have Chad getting any more upset considering all he's been doing is losing lately. So you know what? Screw it, we're going to buy a bigger venue. That's taken a huge cut out of our funds, though. At least it's not the Ukraine funds, otherwise I would have been in big trouble. Anyway, the fangirl came back up in the talent scouting, so I decided to re-sign her to the brand. And one thing I didn't realize is that she actually retained all of the rivalries she had cooking before she left a few shows ago. I'm guessing it's because Damage Control is still on the show. If they had all left, then I don't think the rivalries would have saved if I then signed them all again after. We're going to use a health spa card to get Knight back on his feet again. In the meantime, I'm actually going to start an interesting title program between him and Ludwig. Now, for all you Fine Theory fans out there, rest assured, he will be returning to the world title picture after our next premium event. We'll give Knight and Kaiser their time in the spotlight before Theory ascends from the clouds to reclaim what is rightfully his. Because when that man heads to the top, it is never a surprise.
Guess we're long gaming this 5-star feud then.
Progression is progression, Donald. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Oh my God, I am sick of that phrase being used for everything these days.
So Donald, what about that great wall you were going to build?
Rome wasn't built in a day. Oh, for f***'s sake.
Yeah, it's one of those phrases that just comes into your head instantly, unfortunately.
Excellent. A level 4 rivalry is cooking.
Wait a minute, Donald. Why have you signed a younger version of yourself?
Oh, you're absolutely right, Biden. Look how incredible I look.
I wasn't finished. I was going to say, why have you signed a younger version of yourself? And then edited him to give him a gym body. You've never had a damn gym body in your life.
Yeah? Well, you've looked 85 years old for the past freaking century, you old-ass grape-looking fart.
What kind of stupid comeback was that? Can we agree this match would cook, by the way?
I'll pray like I'm Drew McIntyre that this match will come to fruition one day. What kind of weird rivalry is this?
Is that slander towards Ludwig?
We will not tolerate this, Donnie.
I'm just saying it's weird, that's all.
It could be worse. At least it's not Theory again.
Oh, don't worry, he'll be back in the main event soon.
Damn it. For the love of God, how does he keep winning every damn time?
It's hard to find someone who can do it like the best so well
Shut
that
up, Joe, please, treat. See ya. I'm most susses as CZ.
What the hell?
Donnie, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just got a bit triggered, that's all.
Seriously, guys, what happened whilst I was gone?
All I did was recite the Fourth Amendment.
Oh my God, I hate you so much, Joe.
Good stuff, guys. I think we're really starting to become adjusted with this year's GM mode.
Howdy, guys.
Oh, hey, George.
Hey, George, what's up?
It's good to hear from you, Bush. What's cracker lacking?
What in God's name did you just say?
Guys, listen. It's time.
Wait, really?
Are you for real?
Absolutely, gentlemen. My project is ready to go, and the three of you are going to be in the opening match of the series. I hope you all have been preparing for this.
Barack, before you bottle that bet of ours and trade me one of your stars, I'm first going to demolish both you and Joe in the ring. I hope you're ready for this.
Donald, I am the true American nightmare around here. I'm going to embarrass the both of you.
Don't underestimate me, gentlemen. As president, I guarantee I'll be walking out as champion.
I love the confidence exuding from you three. This is going to be awesome. Folks, stay tuned for what's coming your way, because history is about to be made. Welcome to the presidential universe mode.
Shayna's contract is up again. Jesus, I need to start paying more mind to my star's contract duration so this doesn't surprise me every time. But obviously, Shayna needs to be re-signed because of my bet with Donald. And come on, Carmelo, I just got done getting my ass kicked by The Rock after becoming the first $1 million champion in our Universe Mode series. My mind is not well equipped enough at the moment to deal with you being upset with me. So I decided I needed to sign a new heel to the roster after Braun's injury. I saw Dominic Mysterio come up on the talent scout search after his contract with Joe's NXT came to an end. He and Santos could indeed cook if I'm able to get a rivalry started between the two. In fact, I'm also going to make it up to Carmelo after not booking him in his hometown last week. We're going to have a triple threat match for the Undisputed Championship. It should hopefully be a match that will cook. Also, we're going to make sure Shayna and Vortex's rivalry goes up to level 4 as we try to get a 5-star match out of these two.
Yeah, you better be happy about me forking over half my budget just to please you. Consider yourself lucky that I'm not president, so I can't send a presidential arrest warrant your way. Also, Randy, I apologize for not giving you your match. Like I said in the last episode, it was either you or Cody who I would let down. And with Cody being my world champion, the final decision was obvious. So yeah, not a good opening for me this episode. I'm already in a bad mood as it is. It was straight up corruption that I was eliminated first in that $1 million triple threat in the universe mode. But I've got a contingency plan for that. That can be put on the side for now though. Let's focus on our show here. Ricochet is finally back from injury, so we can now continue his rivalry with Gunther. We're going to put the two against each other in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Honestly, though, that's all I've really got in terms of proper quality for my show. Considering how long it's taking for this Damian Priest and Braun Strowman rivalry to fully kick off, as well as Cody Rhodes not even having a proper opponent yet. So yeah, there's a lot to workshop here. But they don't call me the master of the art of the deal for nothing. You can't keep your future president down for long.
I'm glad you're happy about the bigger venue, Gable. But don't forget that I am the President of the United States, so just be careful with who you're messing with. Now this is interesting. I wasn't aware you could get interactions that would involve multiple stars at a time. And it just so happens it's our two megastars of NXT. Both Knight and Theory want the main event spot. My answer? Why not both? In fact, this is actually perfect. I can make a huge match involving these two and the stars they are currently feuding with. Doing this should hopefully kill two birds with one stone and increase the level of both of their rivalries at the same time. I'm going to sign this guy just so Gargano has something to do, cause I honestly don't have any concrete plans for him currently. Basically his entire 2023 in real life. Jimmy needs a break after beating Gable practically every week. So we're going to use a health spa card on him for this show. We're also going to build Dakota's feud up further by booking the two in a tables match. And then, as mentioned a minute ago, we have our massive Fatal 4-Way match involving the Knight Ludwig and Theory rivalries. And like I said, here's hoping that both rivalries will have their levels raised through this match. Fatal 4-Way matches are actually perfect if you need a potential quick way to build some rivalries up. But of course, it's a luck of the draw situation, as in it could happen, but also has a good chance of not happening. So whilst we're going through our shows, I just wanted to say congratulations, Barack, on becoming the $1 million champion in George's Universe mode.
Thank you, Joe. That means a lot to me, old friend.
God, this is pathetic.
Not as pathetic as you getting eliminated first, Donald.
Nah, you know what? I'll tell you what's pathetic. Barack thinking he can get a 5-star match between Shayna and this job.
I've still got 2 shows to get at Donald. My confidence isn't going anywhere just yet. But going back to the $1 million title match, I'm actually surprised you haven't outright complained to George about the result.
That's because as the master of the art of the deal, I have a contingency plan cooking. You best not be worrying about that though. Focus on that quote-unquote final boss who seems interested in taking the gold away from you also.
Yeah, I saw what The Rock did to you, Barack. I'm more than happy to be out there in your corner for your ambulance match if you want me there. The President and Vice President combo back at it again.
I appreciate that, Joe, but if I'm going to retain my championship, I want to prove I can get the job done on my own. This is something I have to do alone.
Fair enough. You've always been the humble one out of us three after all. Don't even deny it, Donald.
Why am I getting called out? I wasn't even going to say anything.
Changing topics, how are you guys handling your lower budgets after having to buy bigger venues?
It's par for the course, I guess. As Donald says, it's one of the many challenges a great GM must overcome.
I should write my own book on this thesis. I'll title it The Art of the GM Deal. Besides
love of
Barack, if
God.
we got forced to buy bigger venues, then no doubt that same obstacle will be coming your way too.
Oh, I'm counting on it. In fact, that's why I asked about it in the first place.
You gotta be kidding me.
I can't believe it. Theory actually
And
lost.
to his rival, no less, too.
That just makes this even better.
I'm more than happy to recite the third amendment of Megastar Theory again since you're in such a good mood.
If you do that, Joe, I'm quitting the series right here, right now.
Should I even bother asking?
No. Just concentrate on your stupid $1 million title reign whilst you still can.
That didn't sound threatening at all. Anyway, shall we get on with our second shows of the episode?
Absolutely.
As if there's ever going to be a time where we say no to that.
Oh, wow. It's crazy how I called this literally a minute ago. As if my main man is going to screw my budget like this. But at the same time, this is Bobby Lashley we're talking about, the Almighty himself. It makes sense for someone of his star power wanting to perform in a big arena. Anyway, Becky, you couldn't have asked this at a more inconvenient time given how our next show is literally our next premium live event. But fine, Lass, take some time off. I'm sure I can think of something whilst you're gone. So as Bobby requested, we're going to buy the Wrestling Center venue here. On the bright side, it should hopefully mean we get a bit more profit from our shows because of the increased ticket sales and prices. Speaking of the Almighty, he's going to be in the main event against Steve from Minecraft for the Intercontinental Championship, seeing as it was you who requested the bigger arena, Bobby. I'm expecting you to perform and win the title here. We're also going to book Shayna and Vortex in an Extreme Rules match. Now, this is going to determine if I can manage to get a 5-star match between the two in our premium live event in the next episode. So it's a pretty important match. Remember, guys, if I end up not getting a 5-star match with them, I have to trade Donald one of my stars. Vice versa, of course, if I win. Speaking of Donald, though, what he said a minute ago sounded more like a threat than anything. I really hope it wasn't, though, because I have more than enough on my plate with The Rock and that ambulance match against him in the next Universe Mode episode.
There is not a single universe where I actually give a damn about you leaving Cole. Go away, thank you. Oh, for the love of God, Ricochet, you can't be serious here. I had so many plans for you. Rivalries against Gunther and their Judgment Day. And this is how you repay me. I hope you join Nakamura in Talent Search Obscurity for the rest of the series. Hell, you know what, Ricochet? I'm going to form a partnership with Gunther in the next few weeks. Just to spite you for turning your back on the future president of the United States. I think I can afford to give Randy a week off with a health spa card. Seeing how his and Corbin's rivalry is on max level heading into our premium live event in the next episode. Don't ask me why I'm signing Apollo Crews, by the way, because I honestly have no clue. I simply just need someone to fill some space for me on my card, so I may not give a damn about you leaving Cole. But I'm sure as hell going to use you on your last appearance. And book you in a Falls Count Anywhere match in the hopes of giving my show a bit of a ratings boost. And then in the main event, my two men's champions. Rhodes and Corbin are going to hopefully have a classic champion versus champion match together. I'd also like to say that Ricochet leaving the brand isn't actually the worst thing in the world. It's given me back a decent amount of money to go back into my budget. But God, it's so weird to be struggling with money like this. It's literally the stuff of nightmares.
Whoa, hold on now, Jimmy. Be very careful about what you're saying. You're on the same brand as Austin Theory, for crying out loud. You're not that guy, Jimmy, pal, trust me. You're not the guy. But yes, I'll give you your main event match. But sorry, Ludwig, I just don't see you having a partnership with Jimmy. I don't want him bringing you down like he and Jay unfortunately brought WrestleMania down for a short time with their match at the show. I've actually got some very good matches for this show, saying that I'm kind of taking a big risk having a main event where no rivalries are involved. But I didn't want to put Jimmy and Gable in another match until our premium event in the next episode. And also I figured Ludwig could raise the rivalry level with Knight through promo talk. Also, we're going to have the NXT Women's Tag titles on the line as well. Honestly, we're looking at a super strong card here. I feel like I'm getting better and better at this every week. I'm hoping I can also do the same thing in George's Universe Mode too. These old bones showed in that triple threat match that they've still got that dog in them after all.
Oh no, that's not a good sign.
Barack, I will commend you for dedicating yourself to making this rivalry a success. But I think we're approaching the obvious result. That being me getting one of your stars after our next premium live event.
Donald, you can never be cocky when it comes to GM mode. The 5-star match could still happen.
If it somehow does. then I know for an absolute fact that both this game as well as the wrestling gods have it out for
And
me.
there it is. It took a while, folks, but Donald is now officially blaming God for losing the triple threat match in George's universe mode.
Look, Donald, I have to ask. You mentioned a contingency plan in regards to my $1 million championship. What do you mean by that?
As if I would ever tell. I don't think it matters to you anyway, Barack. Chances are I'll be using this contingency on The Rock anyway.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you don't think I have what it takes to beat The Rock?
I don't think any of us do when it comes to the squared circle. If I of all people are saying that, then you should know that this is a fight that you can't win. At least when it comes to fair conditions.
That, Joe, is why I cannot accept any outside help in my ambulance match. I need to prove that The Rock is just another man, and that he can be defeated one-on-one.
It's your call, Barack. You're the champion after all.
Just like Cody Rhodes is mine. What an amazing man.
Are you in the same position as me, Donald? My champion Santos hasn't got a match set in stone at our next premium live event because Braun ended up getting injured.
Unfortunately, yes. Mainly because Cody asked for time off and I couldn't get a rivalry properly set up for him. But once again, it is our duty as general managers to overcome obstacles like this.
That's great and all, guys, but the worst thing just happened.
What do you mean, Joe?
Weren't you watching? Theory lost his match.
Oh my God, just shut up, Joe. Wait, what? You gotta be kidding
Oh
me?
my God, no way.
This is corruption. A complete stain on our country.
Because you're last in a video game? Come on, Donald, you seriously need to grow up.
Cut the damn feed. I said cut it. And while you're at it, you can shut your jabroni mouths up too, because the final boss has something to say. Listen to me and listen good, Barack. In the first episode of the Presidential Universe mode, The Rock laid the smackdown on your candy ass, but you need to understand something. The Rock didn't do this for no reason. No, sir. You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, Obama, because listen and listen good to The Rock right here and right now. Obama, you are nothing but a transitional champion to the great one. Only The Rock. Only the final boss has what it takes to turn that $1 million championship into the most electrifying and prestigious championship in universe mode history. And in episode 2 of the Presidential Universe mode, The Rock promises you right here and now, Obama, your ass is getting thrown into that ambulance. And at the end of the night, The Rock will indeed stand tall as the people's most electrifying $1 million champion. And as that fat walrus Paul Heyman would say, that is not a prediction, that is a spoiler.